Hello all, welcome back to my channel. Hope you all are doing well. Knowledge Greenery channel wishes its viewers and subscribers a very happy new year 2025 ahead. So today we are going to look at one of the most important SQL interview question, which is like default databases in MS SQL Server, right? So this is one of the questions has been asked in one of the SQL interviews. So we are going to understand like what are the databases there and how it works, like a root level scenario, like what is the concept behind that, so that it would be easier for you to answer in the interviews, right? So before that, please subscribe to this channel to make your 2025 technical knowledge evergreen. Yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so master databases, right? So, in your SQL Server Studio, whenever you have performed some query operations, you have seen that we have a master database. We'll see that in a while. So, let us try to understand what is a master database. So, it stores all system level information for the SQL Server instance, right? And generally, it retrieves the list of all databases on the server. So whatever, just consider it as a master data, right? In your other scenarios, or in your day to day tasks, you must be creating a master data. If I explain you in terms of SQL understanding, it means that the master data, right? Every organization must be having master data. So master database stores all system level information, and it is metadata about all databases on the instance. What is metadata? Data about data, like what it exactly contains, and configuration settings for the server, login accounts and link server information, and critical for SQL Server to start and function properly. Yeah. So in your interviews, you can explain what is master database. Let's jump to the practical implementation for master database and try to understand how it works in the SQL Server Studio. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so this is my SQL Server Studio. You must have seen uh, all these databases, right? That is master, model, MSDB, TempDB. So we'll look all the practical implementations. So I'm first going to start with master DB. Okay, so what we are going to write, use master. Okay, sorry, use master, then go, then we will write our queries, select name as database name, comma, state underscore des as status from sys, sorry, from sys dot databases, sys dot databases. Okay, okay, let's try to execute it, and I'll explain you what exactly this query does. So let us execute it. Okay, so here you can see the output, database name and the status, right? So let me try to understand what it exactly means. So the what does this means, that actually it is a view in the master database, and it contains the metadata of all the databases on the SQL server. Okay, so in layman language, if I have to explain, sys dot databases, so what does it contain? Metadata about all databases in SQL server. Got it? So just a second, databases in SQL Server. Okay. So it contains all, like in your SQL Server, whatever databases are there, it contains all the metadata information about that, right? And what does this column means, what does this name means? So it is the name of the database. So you can see that we have given the alias name. I hope you all are familiar. So this is the database name. So name, we are selecting it as database name. And what does this column means? It means the description, right? Status, like it. So what does it means? It means the description, whether it is online, whether it is running, restoring or recovering, right? So it depends on the status of your database. So as you can see that all our databases are online. If you create your own database, so you can also see its status. It will show it as online. Okay, so there are three status: online, restoring and recovering. So if I have to explain you what the state description means, so it means the status of all the databases. Okay, so status of the database, which means it could be in three status: online, it could be restoring, and it could be recovering. You got it? So I hope with this you have got some idea what is a master database. So I hope that would be useful for you. So we are getting our expected output: master, tempdb, model db, msdb, online. Okay, so status of the database, yeah, so it is in three status. So I hope you got some idea. So let's move ahead to the next db. The other one is the temp db. So I hope guys you are aware of the temporary tables in SQL. What is the purpose of creating them? So we have a temp db, right? So temp db is basically for the temporary storage of objects and operations. So it stores the temporary tables, variables and intermediate results of queries, and it's recreated each time the SQL server restarts. So it can also impact performance if not managed properly, as it's used by many internal SQL Server process. So the purpose of TempDB is to create and use a temporary table. In a simple language, we will say it is used for the temporary tables, variables or intermediate results of queries. Okay. So temporary tables are created in TempDB and they are automatically dropped when the session ends. Okay. So whenever the session ends, these temporary tables, so whatever temporary tables you are going to create in your SQL Server Studio, so all are created in the tempdb database and it will automatically will be dropped once your sessions got end. Okay, so let's jump to the practical implementation and try to see how this functionality works. Just a second. Okay, let's try to understand the tempdb usage. So this is the master. Let's try to understand the tempdb usage. So what we'll do first, let me copy this use. Okay, so we are going to use our temp db here first of all. So temp db, we are going to use temp db database. Okay, and then we are going to create one temporary table. So create table, you can give any table name you want. So just for the practical implementation, I am telling you like how we are creating the table. So create table, hashtag, I'm giving it as temp table. Okay, then I'm taking two columns, which is your id int, and the other column would be name var. You can take any column just for the demonstration purpose. I'm telling you, and where char 50 I'm going to take it. Sorry, just a second. And where char 50 I'm going to take, and I'm going to create a temporary table, and then I'm going to insert some records into that. Insert into hashtag, just a second, temp table, temp table. So we have two columns, right? Would be ID comma name. What would be the values? I'm going to insert two records into that one. Just a second. Comma would be your any name you can take. Okay. Then we're going to do select from hashtag temp table. Okay. Okay, so first of all, we are going to create the table. So here you can see create table hashtag temp table. We have two columns, which is ID and your name. So let's execute this query first. So we can see that our table is created in our temp DB. If I'll just drop down it. So if you see temporary tables, we have created this hashtag temp table, and then we are going to insert some records into that, and we'll see that that record is coming or not. So if you select star from temp table, if you just execute it, you can see that we have ID and name column, we have John and Doe 1 and 2. So we are just, so this is the purpose of tempdb. I hope guys this scenario is clear, right? So after I will end this session, after I close my SQL Server Studio, so this table will automatically get dropped. Okay, so I hope you have understood the concept of temp table. Let's jump to another sorry, tempdb. Let's jump to another database, model database. So what is a model database? So it acts as a template for creating new user databases. So whenever a new database is created, it inherits settings and objects from the model database. You can customize the model database to include default configurations or objects for all new databases. So model database is like, in a layman term, suppose a blueprint. Okay, so blueprint as in, I'm just give you a very simple example here. Like suppose you are going on a new project, you have to design something at a root level. A blueprint is given to you, like what needs to be done, what not needs to be done, how the layout, how the structure should be, right? So that is known as blueprint. So model database, so whatever tables, views, or anything that you will create, it provides a model to the other databases. We will see the practical implementation also for model database. So model database means that it adds a default table to the model database. So suppose if you are going to create any table in the model database, so that same table will be configured in your new database if you are trying to inherit that table property. Okay. So it is a template for creating new databases, and whenever a new database is created, yeah, after adding the default table, it will also include this table by default. Suppose if you are going to create any default table in model database, in your new database, that table will also be inherited. Okay, let's see the practical implementation of model database. So this is our temp law. Let's use the model database. Yeah. So first of all, I'm going to copy this query. Okay, and we are going to create table. Suppose you're just going to copy this, paste it over here. So we are going to use model DB here. Slide changes. We are going to use model DB here. Okay. Then we are going to create a table. I'll replace this with the name as default, any name you can give, default table, yeah, and two columns, same thing, id int name voucher. Okay, and then first let's create the table here. So let's execute this. We see that our table is created, and what we are going to do is I'm going to create a new database, that is my defined database. Okay, so I'm going to create database. So you know how to create database, anyway you can create the database. So I'm going to create test db. You can give any name you want. I'm going to click OK. So my new database will be created by this procedure, right? And in that database, I'm trying to inherit the property of a table that I have created in the model database. Okay. So if you understand these points, it would be very useful for you guys to explain in the interviews, like what are the default databases. Okay, create. Okay, just a second. I will create another database. Let's give it another name like practical. Let's try to create. Okay, just a second. Okay, let me try it. Okay, so our test did. So I have created the database which is known as test DB. Now in this test DB, I'm going to inherit the property of the table created in the model DB. Okay, so use test test DB. Just a second. DB. Then go. Then select star from. So this is the table I created. I'll just select this table. Let's try to understand how it works. So, so as you can see that we have created ID name column here. Okay. So what does it means that whatever the blueprint, model DB is the blueprint. So whatever table we have created, we are inherited that property into the our new database. Okay. So I hope the concept of model DB is clear to you all. So let's move on to our next type of DB, which is your MSDB. Okay, what is the purpose of MSDB database? So basically, it is used for the SQL Server agent for automation and scheduling, and it stores information about jobs, alerts, and schedules, maintains the backup, and restore the history. So the basic purpose of MSDB is like whenever in your SQL Studio or in your day-to-day jobs, we used to schedule the SQL Server jobs, right? So MSDB database is for that purpose. It is used to view scheduled SQL Server agent jobs. Okay. So let's jump to the practical implementation and see how it works. So, okay. So we are going to use MSDB. Okay. Go and then select job underscore id. I'll explain what does that means. Job underscore id comma name as job name, job name comma enabled from sys jobs. Okay, so let's run, see what kind of jobs are there in our you can see that I have only one SQL Server job. So this is a job name, job ID, and status is enabled. So what does the job ID means? So if I'll explain you what does each column mean. So job ID is the unique identifier. It is a unique identifier for each job. So whatever the jobs will be scheduled in your SQL Server Studio, it is going to present all the job IDs here. And the name is the name of the job. You can see that we have the job name. This is the, in my case, it is this policy purge history. Okay. And enabled one means enabled, zero means disabled. Okay. So that is the purpose here. So MSDB is for the SQL Server jobs. Okay. So I hope the concept of MSDB is clear. So our last database is, the other one is the resource hidden. So what does the resource hidden means? That it contains the system objects such as views and stored procedures used by SQL Server. So in your SQL Server Studio, like whatever the stored procedures, views, whatever you create, right? It contains all those lists. It's a read-only database and it cannot be accessed directly by the users. It is a hidden kind of thing. Its contents are logically exposed in every database. Okay. So let's see the practical implementation, like what does it means. And it is for the list. It is used to access a system object which is for the list user defined tables, right? So whatever you create in your stored procedures or views, so it is used by the, it is in the resource database which is hidden and which you cannot access it. So let's see the practical implementation in the SQL Server Studio. Let me, so suppose I have to select name, then create date underscore date from sys dot objects, sys dot objects. Okay, where you can give any type. You, I know there are if you want to, there are some codes, right? Like if you want to view views, then what is that? Tables. Okay, where type is equals to U. Just a second. Okay. Okay, where type is equals to U. Okay. So let's execute this and see what we are getting. Okay, name, create date. Okay. So user defined tables, right? So these are the user defined tables. Okay. So it is used to access a system object. And what does sys object means? That if there are, just a second, select name, create date from sys.objects where type is equal to U. So you, if you want to give user defined tables, so you can see that we all have that tables here. Okay. So just a second. Sys.objects where type is equal to U, create date. Okay. So if you can see that these are the two tables I have created in my database, that is T1, T2 and employee. Okay. So these are the tables I have created in this database, master database. You can see all the list of that tables that are created here. So if I'll suppose I have to show you one of the tables, select, sorry, just a second, select star from, just a star from employee. So you can see that okay, just a second. Let's see what the invalid object it is showing. Okay, start from T1. Yeah, select start from T1. If I'll show you, you see this is the table that I've created in my master database. So we are getting the list of all user defined tables. So the resource database is hidden and it is just used to access a system object. Whatever tables you'll create, it will give you those list. Yeah, user defined tables, and it is not and it is always hidden resource database. Okay. So object type, you can give any object type here, right? So for this is the user defined tables. Similarly, by giving any object type, you can access those objects which are being used by the SQL Server Studio, which could be your procedures, views, tables, functions, anything, right? So I hope guys the concept is clear, right? Just a second. If I have to go to test DB, let's see what results it will give. So you can see that in this test DB database, we have these many tables created. If you want employee ID, so there is no record in it because we haven't inserted any records in it. So just, so let's see which table we have newly created. I think that is your this table, right? Just a second. This table we have created. Okay, not this table. So in a particular database, whatever tables you'll create, you can get the list of all user defined objects there. Okay. So in my master database, I have created that T1, T2 table. That's why it is showing the record for that. So if you see, we have T1, T2. Let me check with this table. Start from. So you can see that I have all the records inserted here. So I hope guys this concept is very clear. It is very important from the interview point of perspective. And I would suggest one thing, like, whenever you understand any concept with the practical implementation, it becomes more helpful and easy for you to grasp that concept and explain to the interviewer. So I hope guys concept is clear. Let's see some of the last key points. So these system databases are essential for SQL Server operation. Of modifying or deleting them can cause significant issues. Backups of the master and MSDB database are especially important to safeguard system configuration and jobs. So if you delete any of the database, it could cause a severe impact on your task, right? So we have to be very very careful while working with these databases. It is essentially and equally very important. So I hope, guys, the concept is clear of all these default databases. So thank you all. Stay tuned. Do subscribe to this channel to get such technological updates. And I would suggest again one thing, along with the theoretical concept, make yourself more conscious on the practical implementation, so that it would be very easy for you to understand the frameworks as well. So thank you all. Stay tuned. Do subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.